All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Echak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying to the Lord's elect. Starting the news. It says federal agent shoots Minneapolis man in leg after shovel attack, officials said. Let's look at that real quick. I was watching this last night. Dude was in an uproar, so-called black man in the middle of, they're killing us! Yelling and screaming and shit. And the dude who did the video about him and put him on X said, look at these animals. He was referring to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's how the duck likes to, he likes to call you beasts. That's how these damn devils think of you anyways. And you shouldn't get mad when you hear that, man. You should understand what type of mindset these devils have, man. They liken you on the beast, they eat you, they're wicked like that. And that's the type of shit that's gonna happen. And you need to know that these niggas, they know they the wolf. And that shows you really a sheep out here. You really a sheep. Let me grab that in a second. That's just 15. As if, you know, you really a sheep. You think his words are vain or something, man. It's not. Matter of fact, let's start at the top, man. Start at the top. This early. So people getting shot in their leg. They said it was 4 miles from where they shot Renee Good at in the face. So head shots, leg shots, they shooting you all over the place, man, all over your body. Two got shot in Portland. That's them ICE members, the so-called white men. That's what he signs up to. He signs up for jobs like that because that's in his heart. His heart is to do just that, just like us. In our hearts, the spirit is to come out here and prophesy against them. That's just, hey, that's the spirit that you're in. That's not the spirit of Israel. These Edomites. That's the spirit of Esau, Edom, having that perpetual hatred. 2 Esdras 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I was put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. He'll put it in your mouth because he speaks through his servants, the prophets. Okay? So this is the Lord speaking when he brings his prophets out on these highways and hedges to feed his sheep. 2 Esdras 15, verse 2. It says, it caused them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. It's already written. It's already determined. Okay? It's interpreted. You know, you got the apostles and elders, they broke these things down. We understand the truth now. And they're faithful and true, meaning it's going to happen. 2 Esdras 15:3. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. The incredulity is the unbelief of people. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Romans 3:3. Who cares if someone don't believe what we say? It's not for you to know. It's not for you to get. It's for you to think it is, scoff at the word, and get put to death. 2 Esdras 15:4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So if you're unfaithful to the Lord, you're going to die in your unfaithfulness. Okay? You're going to be prone to getting shot by ICE agents and Edomite people eating on your flesh, man. You're going to be prone to that. 2 Esdras 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. The same plagues that he brought upon Egypt. And yesterday you experienced your phone didn't work according to the Verizon phone shit. That's just your phone. What about it shuts off your power? Okay? That's a plague of Egypt. Then he said famines, death, and destruction. That's coming to this place. 2 Esdras 15 and verse 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. That's right. Wickedness has exceedingly fulfilled the whole earth. That's why there's wickedness all over the place. And ain't nobody saying, none of you nations are saying anything about it. All you nations are running to the Catholic Church. Get the hell out of here. Running to the Christian Church. They ain't fucking telling you shit. 2 Esdras 15:7. It says, therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And I'm complaining too. Destroy them, Lord. Destroy these damn wicked-ass Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. I'm down with him going in Venezuela. I'm down with him going into Honduras and getting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans because you're fucking wicked. Just like when he first came over here and slaughtered your ass. That's what you get. Because you weren't following the law, statutes, and commandments. So you never learned your lesson. That's why he's gonna send his sword against a hypocritical nation. 2 Ezra 15 and verse number 9. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. So he's gonna avenge his elect. Like it tells you in the book of Luke, 18th chapter in the 8th verse, that cry unto him day and night. They're constantly in connection with the Lord. Keeping them, letting them know, feeding the sheep and letting them know this devil gotta go. He gotta go, man. We ain't holding hands with this nigga no more, man. Tells you in the book of, I think, Isaiah 10 verse 20. Let's go there. Isaiah 10 verse 20. Isaiah chapter 10 verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel in truth. So we're not, the person that smote us was Israel. We're not trusting this nigga no more. Being the fucking nigga that the Bible's talking about. The fucking dog and monkey that the Bible's talking about. That's what he is. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. That's right. We led as a flock to the slaughter. That's the point I wanted to get. So-called white man slaughtering your ass, man. I don't know who he shot in the leg. I think it was a Venezuelan. I didn't go into it. It was a Venezuelan. That's an Israelite. More than likely. It says a federal officer has shot a man in the leg in the U.S. city of Minneapolis after being attacked with a shovel as he tried to make an arrest, the Department of Homeland Security says. So, hey, you attack me with a shovel, I'm going to shoot your ass. You're lucky he shot your ass in the leg. Renee didn't get that. She had a car, though. She didn't get the luxury of you actually got to hit the nigga with a shovel? Hey, man, count yourself blessed, man. Maybe the Lord wants you to... the Lord gave you the victory. At the end of the day, if he don't kill you, you still got a chance to come into this truth and get this word. Hey, why not? Why not, man? A lot of people, they don't see the significance of this word, man. It says tensions have been running high in the city since an immigration and customs enforcement agent shot dead a woman last week, sparking protests there, which spread to other U.S. cities. That's right. That's talking about Renee Good. White woman who got shot in the face. You know? Minneapolis that's a wicked ass place, man. Those police are, you Edomites out there, y'all gonna die, man. Y'all gonna die, man. Lord, I know the Lord, something's up with Minneapolis. That's a wicked ass place. That's wicked as hell. Shit, the George Floyd thing, now the Renee Good thing, and the protesters are wicked. They're coming out wearing giraffe suits and dinosaur suits, and like, what the fuck are y'all doing, man? This weird shit. That's you exercising wickedness. You were exercising righteousness. You wouldn't be in that position to get, treated like that. You would try to avoid all of that. It says in a statement on X, the DHS said the latest shooting happened after a car chase involving a Venezuelan national, there you go, who was in the country illegally. Okay, sure he was. You in the so-called white man's in the country illegally. And his ass need to get arrested. He need to get deported. He need to get rounded up. And that's what the Lord's gonna do. It tells you in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. Let's grab it. The criminal's doing he's supposed to be doing all the justice. That's why you got Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they skipped court. They on the Epstein's list, man. They didn't want to, man, they didn't. You don't think you gotta come to court, nigga? Old ass Edomite, you in all these damn pictures? Yeah, you gotta pay. He didn't think there was a day that the Lord was gonna get his ass. That's that pride, man. The Lord was like, nah, it's time to get Bill. First black president, as they call him. All you motherfuckers are black. You just lost your pigmentation because you bear the mark of Cain. A murderer. He was alive from the beginning. That's you. That's Esau. Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So that's us, man. We waiting for you to go into captivity. The saints are the Israelites, not the so-called white man on a damn horse in Rome. Okay? And precepts back it up. These precepts don't back up Esau, man. Only precepts that back up Esau are the precepts that say he's going into captivity, he's going to be destroyed, the Lord hates him. Yeah, that's you. That's the precepts that he should be bringing out when he go precept upon precept. How much the Lord hates him. If he had real knowledge, he'd be out here cutting himself, man. So that's what we're patiently waiting for. Let me read the rest of this article. It ended in a crash and the driver was joined by 2 more people who all attacked the officer, it said. Fresh clashes broke out between protesters and law enforcement in the Hawthorne area of the city near the scene of the incident, and city officials appealed for calm. Yeah, that's where you got the so-called black man yelling and screaming, they're going door to door, they're shooting us. Yeah, they're going to be shooting your ass, man. You ain't read Ezekiel the 9th chapter? Let's go grab it. That's because you niggas don't read. Bunch of illiterate, dumbass niggas. That's a matter of fact, last night I saw, what's that black dude, K-Sinet, he was reading the book. They making fun of him online because he can't read. Fuck all those other books, K-Sinet. You should be reading the Bible. You're going to be stuttering, learn these words. You're reading some stupid-ass book, some Harry Potter bullshit. I don't know what he was reading. You should be reading about the Bible, man. You so consumed in this world, entertaining people and shit. Fuck these people. These people are gonna die, man. I was watching a video. If you watch The Breakfast Club with Max B in French Montana, the nigga Max B just came home. I was gonna do a video. I should probably still do a video on that, man. He just came home. He's at The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God, and he's asking French Montana mid-video, what did we do last night, he said. He's like, I really, and he's like really thinking. And now the next day he's in Charlemagne the God, he's in Breakfast Club, and he's thinking he don't even remember what the fuck happened the night before. And the niggas with French Montana, the nigga that sits at the other side of the table, P. Diddy, talking about happy birthday with his shirt off. This nigga just came home, did 18 years. You don't know what the fuck's going on out here, man. This place is evil, man. You think you can rap? You ain't checked the top 50 songs, man? You should have got up with Megan Thee Stallion. She the only one that got a hit song. French Montana ain't hot like that. Like listening to that nigga. He gonna use you to try to get hot. Long story short, he was saying how he said I woke up. He said Fresh brought me around a bunch of Orthodox Jews. What the fuck Max B got to be doing with some Orthodox Jews? You chilling with French Montana. Who knows what they did to you, man? You hanging around the wicked, they probably put something in your drink, knocked you out, and did a ritual with you, man. Had you ass naked in a pentagram with candles lit. Put your clothes back on, you waking up, you don't know what the fuck happened. That's what you're dealing with when you deal with these motherfuckers. Damn devils, man. Got no clue what the hell's going on out here. 18 years in the joint. You don't know, you don't, like, what the hell, man? You in there writing verses all the damn time, man? You know, you writing verses, you should be reading the scriptures. Anyways. Let's lock it. That's it with that. What else is going on in here? Trump threatens Insurrection Act for Minnesota. Woo. Insurrection Act. these shit's heating up. Second Edges 15 and 11. But I'll bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So Egypt now is America. Or the modern day Egypt is America. Okay, going to Revelation 11 and 8. He calls it Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified. You look at that word crucified, it goes into Staru, and it says, destroy the power utterly. Destroy the power of utterly. Stuff like that. And it's basically talking about how the understanding of our Lord was crucified here. That's why y'all believe that the Lord is white. That's the world that you live in. A backwards society, a backwards world. You can't help none of these Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They just got to be destroyed. You can't reason with them anymore. Lord told you in Isaiah the 1st chapter, should you be stricken more and more? No. The more affliction he puts upon this place, the more you run into the so-called white man, to the point where you'll even go take the MOTB before you serve the Lord. Okay? So the Lord's not dealing with these people. 2nd Edges 15 and verse number 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that God shall bring upon it. And that's the same plagues they brought upon Egypt in ancient Egypt in Exodus, in a couple of verses, Exodus 9, 10, I think all the way from 7, 8, 9, 10. He had like, I forgot how many plagues in total. There were a lot though. And it ended with killing the firstborn child of the Egyptians. Okay? 2nd Edges chapter 15, verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. So this place is going to be destroyed. Okay? Through the blasting and hail, man. You know, some of the plagues, he started to fuck with the cattle. You see the price of meat? You see the price of meat increasing. You see him trying to make deals with Argentina, 20-something, you know. Your cattle dying, man. That's part of the plagues. You're hearing more about 3D printed meats. Your food always been like that, man. If you're still eating food out of fast food places, I'd highly recommend you don't. You don't know what you're eating nowadays. Best thing you could possibly eat right now is the Daniel fast, man. I think that's the best thing to do right now. I wouldn't trust that shit, man. There was a couple days ago, I didn't say nothing about it, but there was another cheese recall. They said whatever was in this cheese, it could potentially kill you. And it was boar's head. It was the same cheese they put in boar's head. They had a couple of different labels on it that they're recalling. I don't know, I didn't look too far into it, but it said it'd kill your ass, man. So you gotta look more into that shit, man. I used to eat Chobani yogurt, then they got a fucking, when I heard that they had a lawsuit about putting some shit in there, stop eating that shit. You can't even eat yogurt, man. You know, I try to stay away from shit that you ain't supposed to eat, and then you go grab some yogurt thinking, okay, this is a healthier alternative than all the other shit that's out there. Eat some cupcake or some shit like that, and this nigga got poison in that shit. You know? And then not only that, he had fucking heavy metals in your fucking Girl Scout cookies. Metals in your cheese. Wood in your cheese. 2nd Edges chapter 15 and verse number 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So woe means death and destruction to the world. Okay? A lot of y'all gonna die, man. If you don't have the Lord, man, then you ain't gonna have any hope. 2nd Edges 15 and verse 15. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So to him doing that insurrection act. As a matter of fact, I think that's sedition. I was thinking insurrection. Let me look that up real quick. Insurrection. Insurrection. 2 Esdras 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Because ultimately what he wants to do, he wants to come and get us, the men of the Lord. But we know how Amalek thinks. He likes to get the weaker ones first. He's going to come after you weak-ass Israelites first. Scared. He knows who to get. He knows through the spirit. I'm going to go get the hindermost. So by the time I get to the elect, you know, I have a lot of receipts by that time. Look what I did to this dude, and look what I did to that dude, and just bow down to me. Look what I did to all these people. Putting them in the same position that he put Yahushua in. Look at that. I burned this dude in the middle of the street, hung him and burned him. You want that to happen to you? Just bow down, just take the chip. I'll make you the third kingdom, the third ruler in the whole kingdom. You have the most credits. You can have your own skyscraper. I'll give you 10 cities if you worship me. You want 10 cities, that's what you've been working for, right? I'll give you that. You can have Minnesota, Chicago, New York. I'll give you the biggest ones. LA, Texas. Just bow down and worship me. You're going to have the faith to say, go fuck yourself, man. Get behind me, Satan. Okay? If you got to die, you got to die. Let's look into this article. Duck threatens insurrection act for Minnesota. President Duck on Thursday threatened to deploy U.S. military forces under the Insurrection Act to Minneapolis if state officials don't stop protests against the sprawling immigration enforcement operation. So he really hates Minneapolis, man. Every time, what are you going to keep going after Minneapolis? Like, what the fuck's going on over there? Insurrection Act. Let's look that up real quick. Let's look that up real quick. What is the Insurrection Act? The Insurrection Act is a U.S. federal law codified in Title 10, Chapter 13 of the U.S. Code that allows the president to deploy U.S. military forces or federalize the National Guard within the United States for domestic law enforcement purposes in specific limited situations. It serves as a primary exception to the Posse Comitatus Act or the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878, which generally prohibits the use of federal military forces for civilian law enforcement activities. So you know he's been trying to weaponize his the military as a police officer, leading into that great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Going into 2 Esdras, the 16th chapter. Let's go there as a matter of fact. 2 Esdras 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And that's talking about what I'm talking about here, with these different military troops that are going to be coming down. We're going into martial law. They're going to be locking this place down pretty soon. And they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. Let me look at this word idol. It says, idle, spend time doing nothing. Of a person avoiding work, lazy, without purpose. Unemployed. Okay. Inactive. Not working or busy. Okay. So pretty much, yeah, you ain't gonna be working, man. You're gonna be, it's gonna be, everything's gonna be, you're gonna be pretty much going into those concentration camps. Okay, going into some type of pretty much being idle, man. You're not gonna be able. You're not gonna be working and all of that, man. You're gonna be forced to take this chip. Okay, He's gonna make it where there ain't gonna be no work for Egypt, according to Isaiah 19 and 15. You ain't gonna have any. You're gonna need an MOTB in order to buy or sell. Okay, we know according to Revelation, the 2nd chapter, that we're gonna be faced with going into prison for 10 days, which means a perfect time. Okay, it says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life." So we're fighting for a crown up here, man. We ain't fighting to bow down to this nigga when we gonna rule with Yahweh Shai, who owns not more than just this world. He said, "In my Father's house there's many mansions." You're gonna be bowing the knee. It told you that I have 7,000 men that won't bow the knee to the image of Baal. So the Lord got men that's not gonna bow the knee, but a lot of y'all are. And you're not preparing for that day. 2nd Ezra 16. In verse number 69, it says, "And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot." So if you consent to taking the MOTB, you're going to be had in derision and trodden underfoot. Okay? Pretty much saying you're going to be destroyed if you take it. Okay? And even if they torture your ass and get you to take it, you're still going to be destroyed by the Lord. So once you have that, you just know you just ain't the elect anymore. I had I can barely remember the dream, but I kind of had a dream of the MOTB, and I was faced with taking it. And I was at the point, like they were about to put it in my hand, and I was denying it, and they came out and they were like, "We'll hit you with this like some taser type shit." I'm like, "Fuck it, hit me with the taser then." So they hit me with the taser, and then I woke up in another place, and then I woke up like shit. And then I remember, I think I might have been locked up or something. I was like, "Y'all put that shit in me?" And because I didn't see anything, and they were like, they're like, "No, why do you want to take it still?" I was like, "Hell no." They're like, "If you don't take it, we're gonna kill you." I said, "Hey," and I started praising. I started rejoicing in the Lord, man, because I felt at that point in my dream that I didn't have any other option but getting hit with a taser. And then I thought that was a test. Then I thought, okay, if I got to get put to death, I just passed this. I ain't taking the chip. And then my spirit just was on fire at that point, like with great joy. And that's a low-ass position, man. Who knows what the rest of the story is, man? You know? But I thought that, I'm like, damn, that's a crazy-ass dream, man. There's so many scenarios that can happen. We don't know. But we know, Lord's will, the Lord's only going to be able to protect us during that time. That's why you got to be faithful unto the death, man. It tells you in Hebrews, the 12th chapter, you haven't resisted unto sin, striving against, let me grab that. In Hebrews chapter 12. You know what I'm talking about. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 4. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin, like the Lord did. Okay, so you can't expect anything more. Your servant's not greater than his master. Okay. 2nd Ezra 16, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And that's what we're doing. He's going to use these protests as a means to try to lock everything down. Okay, he's going to try to lock everything down. Once he gets that established, then he has more room to try to come and get you. Try to get you give you that MOTB. That's why these wars are not kicking off the way that they are, because the MOTB isn't established yet. But once that gets established, the MOTB, then those wars they're gonna kick off fast, man. And other people are gonna have to take it, the whole world. So these other nations, they're gonna be you're gonna be faced wherever you're at. You in Russia, they're gonna do the same thing. They practice taking the jab shot. And if you ain't in line, they're gonna start getting rid of your presidents who ain't in line with the mission, and then that's when everything's gonna kick off. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse number 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. That's right, they will be like madmen, sparing none. Okay? And it looks like they're mad already. They're starting to increase their violence. It started before Renee Good. You know? It started even in his last term. He was shooting people in the face. Duck was already fucking y'all up. Then he came, started signing mad executive orders. Now they got absolute immunity. He put bills on against Antifa and other groups like that. So you go into these protests, he can label you one of those these terrorist organizations that he deems to be domestic terrorism. Not the Ku Klux Klan though. Those are not terrorists. Those are good white people. That's what you call good. There's pictures of them in the church talking about how much they love Jesus Christ, man. That's their God. That's what they burn crosses to. I was thinking a long time ago, I was young, I used to go to camp. We burnt the cross at camp as a little kid, man. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. That's why you can't trust your kids around these motherfuckers. I went to a camp for a week. I still think about that shit. I was wondering, like, why are they wrapping up this? They wrapped it up. They put gasoline all over it. And they sing Kumbaya around it. And then as I grew up, I'm like, yo, we really just did a ritual. With some people at a camp, man. You trusting them with your fucking kids. Get the fuck out of here. Keep your kids far away from those motherfuckers. Those pieces of shit, scums of the earth. Fucking Edomites. Brother's doing a video. Dude fucking was sleeping with his dog, man. You look at the dog, you're like, damn, you feel bad for the damn animal. Like, what the fuck? Fucking a dog, man. That's what these type of people are. Some of you stupid ass bitches are married to these niggas and you gonna get eaten. He gonna kill your ass, man. He ain't gonna want you to be with no man of the Lord. He like, I know once I lose my bread, lose my job, I ain't shit. I know I ain't shit. So let me put her to death, man, kill myself. I don't have no integrity. I don't have no wisdom. I'm a fucking fugitive and a vagabond. You didn't know that, bitch? You didn't read your book? You're the chosen race, and you fucking with me? I should kill your ass. You're so damn dumb. That's what's gonna happen to you, especially the so-called black woman too. That bitch, man, she gotta go, man. These black bitches, man, they evil, man. They ain't fucking evil. Time for you to go. Your time's almost up. When this insurrection comes, that's your downfall too. Esau's getting tired of your ass too. You going, Renee, the white woman ain't got this. You next. You're gonna be hearing about black women getting shot. They just raided a crib yesterday, and I think in Minneapolis. They rammed in the door, came in through the front. Black woman screaming. They actually killed a black woman a couple years ago. She talking about Jesus, and dude shot her in the face. Police officer. So, you women gonna feel it. Second Ezra chapter 16, in verse number 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. That's right, they're gonna come raid your house, take you out, lock you up, take away your goods, your gold, your silver that you got. That's gonna be theirs. They're gonna confiscate your shit, man. No, this is contraband. This gold and silver, we got a digital system. We don't need these things anymore. Bitcoin. Use your, you got to use the USDC. That's your currency now. We're not using gold and silver. What are you dumb? What are you, stupid? You actually went and gathered gold and silver? You're a fucking fool. Thank you. Now go in this prison and hold that. see if the Lord's dealing with you or not. See what that gold and silver is going to do when I'm going to have power over that. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So you had to get ready for the furnace. You're going to be tried like gold in the fire, man. And only the men of the Lord are going to make it through that gold, through that fire, like it tells you in Zechariah 13, 8 and 9. I'll bring a third through the fire. You literally going to have to make it through the fire, through the thermonuclear destruction, through all these afflictions in order to be saved. It says that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So what kind of faith are you going to need to make it all the way up to that point, even the point where these missiles are going to rain on your head? That's all the way up into the end. That's a perfect amount of faith, man. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 73, 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So he said he's going to deliver us. Okay? And you got to put your faith in that too. Okay? 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the heavenly Father is your guide. So he's going to guide you to salvation. You ain't supposed to doubt. You got to read Ecclesiastes, the second chapter. Specifically, verse 10, where it tells you, has any trusted in the Lord and was confounded? The answer is no. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's go there real quick. Because I don't really like roughly paraphrasing anymore because you get used to roughly paraphrasing every fucking thing. Excuse my language. I gotta work on my delivery. 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? You gotta look it up. There's nobody. That's why we trust in Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. We see what the Lord is saying, and we see it on a day-to-day basis. A lot of people don't watch the news. They're not thinking there's an insurrection. They don't see how that's going to happen. I watched last night. The news said Boston, there's going to be an increase of ICE agents. And before that, I literally saw a bunch of ICE agents at my crib, man. So I already knew the news before it even happened. I even saw a helicopter hovering over my house. Not my house, but you know what I mean. Where I live at. What the fuck do you think they're doing that for? That shit's gonna increase. It's gonna be like what's that movie, The Purge. They went into the projects. They did a drone strike on Jake. He tried to gather up his gang. You can't fight these niggas, man. You don't see how when they got Maduro, they got the sonic weapons. They're gonna be using that shit against you. Robot dogs, drones. Get the hell out of here, man. You talking about you gonna bust your gun. Okay. I bet you won't. I put money on it. Your ass will be foaming out the nose, blood, vomiting blood, and your brain about to explode in your skull before you even lick a shot. That's because you're gonna be destroyed because you ain't got no knowledge. And that's what your ass get. When it tells you in the book of Isaiah 59 that the Lord is going to lift up a standard against this devil. I don't know what you niggas don't understand about this, man. This ain't your fight. This is the Lord against the so-called white man. He defended the nation of Israel. Isaiah 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. And that standard, when you look at that word standard, it goes into making you disappear, making him flee away. let's look into that word as a matter of fact. Let's look into the word standard in Isaiah 59 and 19. That's why it's important to look into these things. And I'm using the Blue Letter Bible if you don't know what I'm doing. You can download it on your phone. Interlinear. Goes into the Hebrew and all of that. This is the time you should be taking. This is where you learn. I went into this word multiple times, but this ain't for me. Shall lift up a standard. Strong H 5127.
Noose. Noose.
Okay. Saying it's noose. To flee, escape. To take flight. Depart, disappear. So that's spiritual power, man. How can you do? The nigga's coming in like a flood, kicking down your door. He say he can make you take flight. He can make you disappear. The Hebrew word noose. Okay? That's spiritual power. They'll come in there and not even see you. Hold on, I thought he was here. You're like, I'm right here, nigga. I'm right in front of you. Lock me up. You know, they came to get Elijah. He had all these guards coming to get him. I forgot what it's in the Book of Kings. Elijah led them all the way to I think Samaria. And the king at the time said, "Let me slay them." He's like, "Nah, man, we ain't gonna slay them." He fed them and had them go on their way. That was just one man in a whole army, a whole military. Elijah took him down by himself. They forgot what they were coming. Yeah, we're looking for Elijah. They were talking to him. As a matter of fact, let me grab that since I brought it up. Let me see what else it says. To drive hastily, to put to flight. You gonna make them get put to flight. That can come in a multitude of ways, man. The Lord tells you in Psalms 144. Let me grab that. Make them get put to flight. They come in like a flood and they getting put to flight. That means they getting to running. They running away. Psalms 144. In verse 1, it says, "Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight." So the Lord will download some, who knows, man, you be coming, might fuck them all up. Who knows, man? He's the one who's gonna give you the things you need to do. Where did Elijah? What chapter did Elijah take the Syrian army when they were looking for him and sent them to Samaria? Second Kings chapter 6. Let's go there a little bit. What time is it? Yeah, 2 Kings chapter 6. Let's go there. Start at 8. 2 Kings chapter 6, I'll start at 8. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with the servants, saying, "In such and such a place shall be my camp." They were looking for Elijah. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, "Beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down." And the king of Israel sent to the place which the men of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, "Will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel?" And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel. So it was Elisha, not Elijah. Salakia. "Telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. So they were trying to look for Elisha, but the Lord was moving them around. So he thought, the king of Syria thought that, people were fucking with him. Okay? 2 Kings 6:13, and he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? So now they're being compassed by the Syrians, compassed meaning they're surrounding him, okay? And his servant, like an underling, was saying, what are we gonna do? Okay, 2 Kings 6:16, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And we gotta always remember that, man. We think we're small to these heathen, man. But there's more that be with us than that be with these heathen. We got the Most High, we got the chariots of heaven, man, the host of heaven. Our military is spiritual. Okay, it tells you in the book of Psalms, it's either 34, let me grab it, where it says, the angels of the Lord are around them that fear them, roughly paraphrasing again. Let me grab it. But that just goes to show you, first of all, the battle is spiritual. It's spiritual first. That's why, they don't, y'all don't succeed when you come up against the men of the Lord. Psalms 34:7, the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. So he understood that. Okay? 2 Kings 6:16, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So he had a lot of angels round about him. He had to open his eyes, man. He wasn't by himself. Like, I'm not out here by myself. Okay, I'm with a large host. All right? And this is how we're going to get the victory in these last days, but you got to stay true to the word. But the angels, they help you with these administering spirits. This is what gives you the knowledge that you got, the words to say, the things to think. That all comes from the Lord. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 19, and Elisha said unto them, this is not the way. Hold on, no, I missed it. Verse 18, 2 Kings 6, verse 18. And when they came down to him, talking about that army, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So there you go. That's lifting up a standard. Okay? That's how you can disappear. So the Lord already did it for Elisha. All right? 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse number 19. And Elisha said unto them, this is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek. But he led them to Samaria. So there you go. You got an army. Yeah, we're looking for Elisha. He blinded them. Yeah? Oh, I'll help you find him. Follow me. He didn't even lift up a sword, man. A whole military looking for him. Young man's all, what are we going to do? Fear not. And he prayed that the Lord open his eyes. There's more that be with us than be with them. These heathen, they got demons on them, man. Weak-ass demons. They don't got the host of the... Come on, man. These people don't even know what the difference between a man and a woman. Showing you how... And these people got doctorate degrees. Fuck you people, man. You gotta stay far away from these heathen as much as you can, man. Pray to the Lord. Hopefully he got mercy on you and he don't put your ass to death. These fucking heathen, they don't know shit. They come here, they dress like a damn Edomite, they think they're better than you. They're in their fucking country eating shit, putting their foot in your fucking soup. Making you sick. And that's where they go home to vacation. I'm going to go see my parents. Dancing around in dung. Throwing it at each other, eating it, cooking it, baking it. 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 20. And it came to pass when they were come into Samaria that Elisha said, Lord Yahweh, open the eyes of these men that they may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. So there you go. He from the point where they went up to him, he made them walk. He's the head of the whole. He captured them, brought them all the way to Samaria. 2 Kings 6, verse 21. And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, when he saw them, my father... No, listen to this, Lakia, 2 Kings 6 and 21. And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, when he saw them, my father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? So the king of Israel is like, shit, shall I kill it? Let me kill their ass, man. Right? And he answered, thou shalt not smite them. Wouldest thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow? Yeah, will you have smote those that you have taken captive with thy sword and thy bow? You know, during wars, you got captives. You know, whatever you're going to do with them, you do with them. Ultimately, you turn them into slaves. Set bread and water before them that they may eat and drink and go to their master. And he prepared great provision for them. And when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel. So there you go. So then they went back to Syria, but they didn't do what the king said. When you read up more, they wanted to kill Elisha's ass, man, because of that, man. Because then they besieged. There was a great famine, you know. There was a great famine, and they were probably trying to blame the famine on Elisha. Like, we could have killed these niggas, man. Now we let them stay alive, and hey, that's the Lord's will. He wanted to bring that destruction upon you. And that's what's going to happen again. Anyways, bringing out the point that the Lord is going to be lifting up a standard. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide. That's right, we're not going to be afraid like that, like the underling to Elisha. You know, may the Lord open your eyes, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 76. In the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. You're not supposed to, you don't want to be pricked with the multitude of your sins, like it tells you in Ecclesiastes 14th chapter. Okay, your sins will weigh you down. Satan ultimately will try to overthrow you with inward agitation by making you think that, you know, your sins are, they're greater than what they are, man. The Lord said he'll greatly pardon. Okay? And you got to trust and believe that. You got to seek him 10 times more now that he may be found. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 76. In the guide of them who, verse 77, Salakia. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, and that no man may travel through, if it is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. That's right. So if you don't, you're left, your sins pretty much. Let me read that again. It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 77. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. So you're blocking your path. You know, you're supposed to keep the commandments, man. And it tells you not to your sins, man. You're not supposed to allow them to, ultimately it's the Lord. It tells you in the book of Job 12 verse 16 that the deceived and the deceiver are his. You know, but the best thing we could do is diligently seek the Lord and pray to the Lord when our faith is low. That's what we need to be praying to. Praying to the right name too. Praying to Jesus Christ, man. That's not the right name, man. 2nd Ezra 16:78. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. So that's gonna cause you like fuel for the fire. All right, like fuel for the fire. Let's see, is that it? President Duck on Thursday threatened to deploy U.S. military forces under the Insurrection Act to Minneapolis if state officials don't stop protests against the sprawling immigration enforcement operation. Yeah, if they don't stop these protests. Isn't that part of your Constitution? Let's see what it says. Let's ask. Does the Constitution protect protesters? Yes, peacefully protesting is a constitutional protected right in the U.S., but he got agitators. He'll put somebody in there that won't make it peaceful. He'll pay somebody to throw a brick at a building, cause some type of chaos, make everybody, you know, he'll create the chaos, man. Primarily under the First Amendment guarantees of free speech, assembly, and petition, but this protection isn't absolute and can have reasonable restrictions on time, place, and manner, and doesn't cover violence, trespassing, or disrupting public safety. Yeah, it said this protection isn't absolute, but he gets absolute immunity. He called that mission that he did on Maduro absolute resolve. Get the hell out of here. When he don't get, but when it comes to your constitutional rights, that's not absolute. It says, why it matters. Every modern use of the Insurrection Act has come either at a government's request or to expand civil rights protections over state objections. Duck would flip that script, sending troops against a governor's wishes to crush protests of the federal government's own actions. So that's what he's trying to do, to crush you, man. He got two horns like a lamb and he spake as a dragon. He told the Iranians, he said, help is on its way. There ain't no help for you. He got the sword for you. But he willing to help someone in a foreign country. And that just goes to show you this nigga ain't got, he ain't got it, man. There's so much going on, man. The most recent thing I'm thinking about is French President Macron. He's going to be him and the German dude. They're sending troops to Greenland. And why that's significant is because it shows you why the Duck wants to go there in the first place. Macron doing fucking business with, he told the Ukrainian dude Zelensky not to buy US-made weapons with our money that we loaned you. We're gonna loan you the money to buy our weapons. We're not loaning you the money to go buy Patriot systems and you know, Raytheon and Lockheed Martin weapons. No, we need that money coming to us. So he already putting a bug in his ear to step on Esau's shoes. So that's more division. That's that miry clay in the iron. He's putting in one ear, you got Macron telling you, now don't fuck with him, and on the other ear, he's trying to do business. Come on, man. And then now Macron's he's sending troops over there to Greenland. Greenland said they're gonna step up their presence over there on their borders. This is after all the rhetoric of Donald Duck telling them that he wants to go take over their land. And clearly, they're gonna it's not gonna be as easy as he thinks. And those sonic weapons that he used against Maduro, I watched the news last night. If you look up Havana syndrome, they're talking about how that you know, this weapon that the U.S. bought this weapon possibly on the black market in 2024. So if you bought it on the black market, these other countries got that same tech. So that shit might be used against him when he go to war. But I'm gonna end it here. Fine, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rechak Wadash. Shalom, Abad Babal, and Kwam Yasharallah.